Field.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of You Have Failed with me, SaiyanVader, where this week, we're Attack on Titan again. I did promise it. I couldn't do it on for Saturday because we've had a new arrival in the house and he has taken all my attention, not because he's a handful or difficult to deal with, but because I just want to spend all of my time with him, which has meant that I haven't done much in the way of anything else because I've been spending all of my time with the amazing Finn, who is my new dog. He is the most precious and loveliest thing in the world, and the best companion a failure could ever want, which is really good. Honestly, I love him so much. So sorry this didn't come out on Saturday. I did say it was probably a bonus episode, but it's not. But instead, it's just going to be the normal, regular You Have Failed episode on a Tuesday, talking once again about Attack on Titan, which is the best telly show on telly. But before we get on with that, I will do the normal announcement, which is that we at Studio Arts do still, of course, stand with the Black Lives Matter campaign, a serious campaign that is still ongoing, trying to fight for equality for people of all races, especially that in the black community. And yeah, the ways you can help support this are by going to websites like www.blacklivesmatter.com and finding out ways you can, just learning and reading through the articles and following the links, or donating money to help support the cause, or use the hashtags BLM or hashtags Black Lives Matter to keep the conversation going online. But without further ado, let's get back into talking about the best telly show on telly. Sorry about that, but oh my God, Attack on Titan is incredible, and every time I think I know what I want to talk about in the episode this week, sorry, I took a far longer pause than I should have then. It's because even now I'm trying to process what I'm trying to think about. So, because in case you didn't know, I just watched the latest episode, which is season 4, episode 7. I just watched this before recording this. So honestly, there's a lot going on in my mind right now, as each episode just gives me so much more to talk about. Because I mean, you know, I've got so many characters I want to talk about. Commander Irvin, Reiner, Captain Levi, who 100% Captain Levi has been spoken about this episode, for no other reason than I promised Pharaoh Ares. I can't remember which pseudonym it is, but she's now got a podcast, by the way, Pharaoh of the Opera. It's brilliant. Her most recent episode is on Cleopatra, who is her idol, and I'm pretty sure long distant relative from ancient Egypt. So please do go check that out. She's brilliant. She's a farmer. The accent's brilliant. Like when she says R, like farmer, you know, right? This is the Dorset accent. It's really, really fucking good, right? So yeah, please do go check it out. Her episode is brilliant, and please show her lots of support. That is also on Spotify, Apple, the King's Eyes.life, every other platform that you're listening to this on. You can listen to Pharaoh of the Opera, and honestly, she's brilliant. She'll be doing things on musicals, history. She'll be doing pretty much anything that interests her, and she will at some point be doing an episode on Attack on Titan as well, so do listen out for that. But yeah, I've got to talk about Captain Levi because that is her current crush. I say current as if she's ever going to get over Levi, so I will do a lot on Captain Levi today, and I say that as if Captain Levi isn't my very close second place to Eren Yeager and is just the most badass person in all of fiction. So him, I want to talk back to topics that I've really just completely gone a bit of a tangent there. Anyway, I wanted to talk about like my theories for the ending, but I might do that just before the finale, maybe. Well, that's not a bad idea, doing theories before the finale, because I've got a few right now, obviously based on, as we all know, the final panel of the show, of the manga anyway, has been revealed, which is it looks like a father holding his baby with the words, "You're free," or "You are free." And yeah, that's very interesting. It gives me a lot of ideas for the theory. I hope it's Eren. I hope Eren survives. I hope Levi survives. My God, if Levi doesn't survive, Pharaoh is going to be crying for years. She's never going to get over it. But yeah, that Irvin, so much like, and the problem with thinking of things to talk about for this show is each week something more brilliant happens where I'm like, at this rate, it's just going to become a weekly podcast of Attack on Titan because I've just got more and more to talk about each week. Because last week's episode 6 of season 4, I got one of my new favourite scenes of the show, and this week I got another of my new favourite scenes. I'll go over those quickly before I get on to Captain Levi. Just leave Pharaoh in a bit more suspense before I get there. Oh, I don't know what that was. Honestly, I haven't had much sleep. I don't know if you can tell by just the utter randomness going on at the moment. What was I going to say? Yes, so in last week's episode, it was the scene right at the end where Porco, Porco Gilead, it depends how. Some people call him Gilead, some people call him Porco. It's whatever. It's the scene where he realises that the scouts aren't afraid of him. So obviously he's just tried to bite into Erin's nape. Levi's come in, sliced his jaw open. He's shit himself, realising that that's Levi, and clearly Levi is... The stories have gone around about Levi and Marley, and everyone shits themselves when they see him. And then the scouts start charging at him. And it's that... The scene is brilliant because you can see in his eyes... and hear in his voice the absolute fear. He's spent all his time as a Titan in the battles he's fought having people be terrified of him because he is a Titan. They run away, but these people are charging at him. This shows that the people of Paradis are not afraid of Titans. They will fight them and kill them, and they have done their whole lives to survive. And this was his first time encountering that, and that's why the fear in his eyes was incredible. And I love the scene because it's so good at showing that someone who hadn't encountered the soldiers of Paradis before, who's just used to people running away from him in fear, like his enemies, now seeing them charge at him was so incredible. Just watching that was beautifully done. And, you know, these are just regular humans, but they're coming to kill me. These are the devils of Paradis. And it's just incredible how he does that and how fearful he is. And then this week you get another one where Eren Yeager once again proves how grown up he is. Gone are the days where he just charged into a battle not thinking about anything, and now he sees that the Jaw Titan can actually damage the crystal that the Warhammer Titan's stuck in, and actually, rather than just trying to break open the crystal, he basically dismembers the Jaw Titan and uses its mouth as basically a fucking Titan can opener to crush the crystal with the Warhammer Titan's human form in and drink the spinal fluid. So he's now got the Warhammer Titan power, and it's just so incredible just watching him just use the Jaw Titan as a can opener on the Warhammer Titan crystal. And it's absolutely incredible to watch that. And yeah, I mean, once it shows the strength of the Jaw Titan that he can cut through that. It's much stronger than Ymir's Jaw Titan. But yeah, I mean, well, it was an incredible scene, and honestly, more stuff every week. But I think I've digressed enough from the fact that Captain Levi is the most incredible, badass, awesome, just deadly, 5'2", Napoleon complex, cleaning legend, Titan killing man on Earth, right? There's no way around the fact that Captain Levi is the man. When there's a whole nation who uses Titans as their primary war method and soldiers, essentially, but all those Titans fear a 5'2" man. A 5'2", currently 38-year-old man, mind you. He's not young, Captain Levi. He's almost 40, and all these Titans, like... So, in this latest episode, spoilers for the latest episode of Attack on Titan, by the way, if you haven't caught up yet now. I suppose I've already spoiled it with the Jaw Titan thing, but I will be talking about spoilers, so sorry. Yeah, so Peak and Porco in their cart and Jaw Titan are like, look, we've got to protect the war chief, which is Zeke, in the Beast Titan. You know, we've got to protect him from Levi. We know he's around here somewhere. We've got to protect him, make sure he doesn't get killed. And then next thing you know, Levi just comes in, just one clean slice along the Beast Titan's neck, and the Beast Titan goes down. Then he just throws a grenade into his nape, and you don't see Levi for the rest of the episode. I don't imagine he's dead. If it goes very close to the manga, he's definitely not dead yet. And yeah, he I'm just like, look, I think the best thing I saw, I was watching a YouTube video about, it was almost like an analysis of the previous, so 4.6 of Attack on Titan. Just, you know, I like to see other people's opinions as well, like similar to my podcast. I watch other videos and listen to other things about things I'm interested in. And it was talking about when Marley were calling their reinforcements. It was like a whole armada of ships, 3,000 troops, this, that, the other, Titans. And he went, yeah, that's all well and good, but there's a reason the scouts aren't scared. You've got 3,000 soldiers and a whole armada. The scouts have a Levi. And it's just the most, yeah, that's true. With Captain Levi on side, the Scouts aren't exactly going to lose. You can't. Captain Levi's a one-man fucking army. And yeah, I think I'm the person who got Pharaoh, Ares, whatever, midget. Shouldn't insult a Pharaoh like that. They'll probably banish you to the Shadow Realm. Although I think I'd enjoy that, actually, so fuck knows what's going on. Anyway, digressing again, I got her into Attack on Titan, and she didn't think she'd like it at first. And to be fair, I think she was sort of hooked after the first episode, as much as she found the Titans really unsettling to look at, which they're meant to be. They're meant to be scary. And I said to her from the beginning, I went, there's one character you're definitely going to like, and that is Captain Levi. And she was like, oh yeah, I guess, whatever. And from the moment she met him, she knew that he was her favourite because of one line he was basically, if you watch the show, he's the first one to really acknowledge how ugly the Titans are. He literally just calls a Titan ugly to its face and says, you know, you're a sight for sore, like, you're a sore sight or something like that. Not a sight for sore eyes, that's a compliment. And he just insults its looks. And from that moment, I think Saffron, Pharaoh, whatever you want to call her, she fell in love. And I'm not even kidding. She has admitted to me, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this on podcast, but even if she does, I'm going to say it anyway. He is basically joint first, if not actually first place. No, it's not joint first. She admitted that he now outranks any other male character, male she has a crush on, fictional or otherwise. You know, he is top of the list. He has beaten all of her previous crushes out by a long shot, because we realised the more we spoke about it is because Tiaba's ahead of her. She's now up to date and she's watching it weekly with me. And we talk about it during the episode, like when a bit happens, we're like, oh my god, this is so cool. And it's actually quite fun having someone to almost watch it with and discuss with. I'm enjoying that, having someone else who's as invested in the show as I am. I don't normally have that when I watch TV shows. No one else is as invested as I am, so it's nice to have someone to talk about this with. Anyway, digressing. So yeah, I remember obviously she was watching along. We sort of, as more we discussed it, we realised that Captain Levi is her ideal man. Short but taller than her. Just a bit cold, but not horrible. Bit stern, you know, older, because he was 34 in seasons 1 to 3. He's now 38 by season 4, so older. That suits her. She likes an older man. Loves cleaning, very clean freak, you know, all this sort of stuff. He's got the hair, he's got the facial complexion, he's got the eyes. He's a badass, and he likes tea, very much likes his tea, Captain Levi. And also he kicked the shit out of Eren Yeager and finds Titans repulsive. This was at the point where no one really liked Eren, and she really didn't. She likes him now. Eren's now number 2 on her list. In fact, our top 3 favourite characters are pretty much identical, except that for me, it goes Eren, Levi, Irvin. For her, it goes Levi, Eren, Irvin. So it's very similar. Same top 3, just in a different order. To be fair, Levi probably would be top of mine if I didn't, it's going to sound really bad, relate to Eren Yeager as much. And I really like his character growth and where he is now. And I can relate to him in a way. I'm not going to go into that. That's a bit weird. But yeah, Eren Yeager, I sympathise for. And so I've sort of built a personal connection with him after realising who he really is and everything. And I love the development in season 4 where everything gets thrown at you and you realise what's really been going on with him the whole time. But Levi, I'm not denying that Levi is the coolest shit ever. Honestly, he's the epitome of cool. I said to Saffron, and this is probably like the ultimate compliment, that Levi is, if Seto Kaiba stopped playing card games, became a bit less of a dick, but still a bit cold and a badass, and just started slicing through giants on a regular, like, instead of fighting duel monsters with cards, he'd just attack the monsters with swords. That very similar thing. That's a big compliment coming from me. You know how much I like Seto Kaiba if you've been listening to the show for long. And yeah, Captain Levi is just the coolest shit ever, to the point where me and Saffron have both ordered figures of him. I think we've got the same one coming to put up in our rooms. I've also got an Eren Yeager one. We've also both decided to get. Oh, I'm not. She sent me a thing, and it was this sort of Wings of Freedom, obviously the Scout Regiment badge bracelet, sort of thing to wear, not like a bracelet, but like an armband type thing, but it's got like a metal Wings of Freedom on it. And yeah, we're both getting one of those, and it's it's weird. I think we're not intending to buy the same things at each other, but we both like the show so much that we like the same products about it. I mean, she's bought hoodies as well, and I think she's going to get teacups with Levi's face on it. By the way, Levi is also on these hoodies. So we've got different things. I've got the Scout Regiment jacket, you know, with the Wings of Freedom on it, everything. I've got the jacket, and I'm also getting a blanket soon. But the blanket is the little capes that the Scouts wear. Sorry if my voice is a bit gone at the moment, so I'm a bit tired and I seem to be losing my voice, so I apologise about that. But yeah, I've got a blanket coming. My voice sounds awful, Jesus Christ. I sound like I've been smoking 10 cigarettes, Jesus fucking. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I've got like a blanket, but it's like the Scout cape, so you can put the hood up and wear it around you and it wraps around you, or you can just use it as a proper blanket. And obviously it's got the Wings of Freedom on it, which by the way is just the coolest symbol ever. I love the Wings of Freedom. I just think I might have said this in the previous episode, but we need the Wings of Freedom in real life. Everything it stands for is just incredible. You know, wanting to learn more, to be more, to explore, to, you know things, and freedom, just wanting freedom for humanity. Like everything that symbol represents is perfect, and I think we need that in real life. We need a Wings of Freedom for humanity. Anyway, so yeah, but to be fair, I wear my Scout Regiment jacket quite a lot because, as much as technically, yeah, it is a cosplay piece. I don't know. I never thought I'd be able to pull off a crop jacket, but actually, it doesn't look that bad, and it's actually quite well. It goes with what I wear. Not when I wear shorts, but if I put on some jeans and sort of a plain, normally dark shirt, white works as well. It goes like that. But I think if I can go to a Comic-Con again at some point, you know, if coronavirus ever ends, I'm going to go as a member of the Scouts, because I've already got that, and the rest I found like all like the belts and straps and stuff that they wear for their ODM gear online. I'm not going to buy the actual ODM gear props. That'd be a bit too much, but I'd get that and white jeans and everything, and yeah, I'd probably buy the proper cape, not a blanket cape. But yeah, it'd be cool to go as a member of the Scouts at some point. I'd really enjoy that, I think. Yeah, so I was going to say something I completely forgot. Captain Levi, just the best person ever. Yeah, his cleaning habits are hilarious, and I love the fact, right, so if you go to season 3, right, Erin is willing to get a court-martial and stuff for directly disobeying Levi when he's picking between Irvin and Armin. But the minute Levi's back at sort of their headquarters or something and Levi finds a speck of dust, Erin shits himself. Like, a court-martial's fine, but angering Levi with dust, nah, that's a no-no. And his cleaning gear is hilarious. And his backstory is great as well. I'm going to try not to go, I think, too much into a character analysis of Levi, only because I know, as I said, Pharaoh wants to do an episode of her podcast on Attack on Titan, and I feel like she'll want to talk a lot about Captain Levi, and I'm going to be a guest on that episode. So I feel like both her and myself can get out our Levi love a lot there, and I can maybe dissect his character a bit there while she's just fangirling over how much she loves him and is her perfect man and wishes more than anything he was real. And to be fair, so do I. I mean, if I could meet Captain Levi, that'd be amazing. I think we had a weird conversation the other day, and we were talking about something. She was like, "Oh, imagine I could just go to the Attack on Titan world." I was like, "Well, yeah, I mean, it'd be a bit dangerous, you know, like Titans." And she's like, "Yeah, but I get to meet Captain Levi." I was like, "Yeah, that's true." I was like, "If you go and I can't also make it, could you give both Erin and Levi a message that I'm both big fans of their work, please?" And yeah, these are the kind of things we talk about when we both just fanboy and fangirl over how good this show is and how good the characters are. But yeah, I think I haven't spoken about this with her, but I'm sure she'll be fine with it if I leave a lot of Levi's character analysis, I suppose, and complete fangirling over to when we discuss it on her on her podcast, sorry, her show. But I still want to talk about how awesome Captain Levi is and how literally she wants to marry him more than anything in the entire world, and I love that. And I love the fact that this show she thought she'd watch a couple of episodes and say, no, it's not for me, is now, by the way, her joint first favourite show of all time. Like, she's a massive Game of Thrones fan, but she's literally put it on equal terms of Game of Thrones. And actually says if it wasn't for one character in Game of Thrones, I think it's oh, what's her face? One sec. Oh, come on, I can do it. I think it's Daenerys Tarragon, something like that. Daenerys. I don't know the surnames in Game of Thrones, and I can't even pronounce a lot of the names. Like there's the one played by Sophie Turner, Sansa, Snassa. I know the surname is Stark because that's the same as Tony from fucking Avengers. But yeah, it's Daenerys, the Dragon Lady. She said if it wasn't for her, Attack on Titan would be at top. But I also have a feeling that if it wasn't, I'd be interested to speak to her and say if you take Levi out of Attack on Titan and Daenerys out of what's its face, Game of Thrones, which one would be at the top? Because they're her favourite characters. They obviously boost it a lot, which isn't a problem. Like that's like the characters are part of the show. If they've got great characters like that, that's amazing. But I'd be interested to see which one she'd put at the top otherwise. But yeah, Captain Levi is an absolute certified badass when he takes down the Beast Titan for the first time, by the way. So it's 2-0 at the moment. Both of them, I swear, in like under a minute. He goes ballistic because it's just after Irvin died and he completely shreds through the Beast. It just cuts him down to pieces. It's that bit where it's like, where the Beast Titan sort of thinks, because he's been warned about Levi from Reiner and Berthold at the time. It's the bit where Zeke's like, is that Levi? After Levi literally cuts his arm into about 1,000 pieces and then slices his eyes, then one ankle, then the next ankle, then his other hand, and then slices the back of his neck when he's already fallen on the floor because he can't stand up anymore and can't see and can't use his arms because Levi is an absolute certified fucking badass, right? He's just the coolest thing, and it's very clear that after Zeke got his ass handed to him by Levi, he went back to Marley and went, look, Erin, we can probably take. The scouts we might struggle with, but we've got a chance. Levi, run. Because it's very clear that all the other shifters on Marley, so you've got the cart and the jaw, are clearly very, very, very afraid of Captain Levi, and that is for a very, very, very good reason. Because he is the Titan Slayer 3000, and you do not mess with good old Captain Levi whatsoever, because he will kill you. And that is, quite frankly, incredible. Because, as I say, this is for like a 5'2", 5'4" man, and he takes no shit. Literally, if you did a shit, he'd kill you because cleanliness problem, and even his tea, the way he drinks tea is incredible. But I'm sure Saffron will get onto that because that's part of the reason she loves him so much. And I do want to leave her stuff to talk about when we get onto her show, talking about this date to be decided. But we do know we are going to do it at some point. But now would be a good chance, I suppose, to move on to the sponsor, which, as always, is Schmerp, the resident graphic designer of King's Eyes Life. He's brilliant, does great commissions, great designs. It's really worth checking him out. Check him out on kingseyes.life under the commission section. Really does great work, and you will be satisfied with all of your products, so please do go check him out. He will not fail you. And while we're plugging things, I may as well plug the social medias. So you can follow this show on Twitter at YouHaveFailedSV. That's the best way to stay up to date with the show, find out what the topics are for each episode, and find out if there won't be an episode and why there won't be an episode. You also follow my personal Twitter, which is at SaiyanVader, where I'll post random tweets about anything, normally fandoms I'm interested in, normally jokes or collectors things, whatever. And also the pinned tweet on my personal Twitter is actually the link to my Discord server, the Failures and Finalists, where you can become a failure and be proud of it by meeting other failures just like you and discussing all your favorite topics, games, films, TV shows, I don't know, books. I like books. Books are great. And we have an assortment of emojis. I think I gave Saffron 2 Captain Levi emojis. We've got a few Attack on Titan ones. We've got an Eren Yeager. We've got 3 Captain Levi. No, we've got Commander Irvin, and we have the Wings of Freedom. But so many others. We've got things from 6. We've got things from Chaotic. We've got Yu-Gi-Oh! Lots of Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually. and I think there's probably a Darth Vader one as well, because it's me, and I wouldn't have done not a Darth Vader one, because why wouldn't I? So please do join the Discord server, and because also there you can give me great suggestions for new episodes of the podcast, as I'm trying to plan a bit more ahead, but that's not entirely true. That just means I've got one in the works at the moment, and Attack on Titan is just something I can talk about forever. So yeah, it's getting a bit so please do join the Discord server and follow me on Twitter for all of the updates, and yeah, just to find out what is going on. But without further ado, my voice is fucked, and clearly so is my mind. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I realise you guys must think I'm smoking something before I record these or during. And the worst part is, I'm not. I'm just insane. Not that I'm a danger to others. I think, I ramp it up for these episodes because SaiyanVader's a man with no regrets, and no bars held, and will call things absolutely shit. But the problem is, I'm talking about things I like at the moment, so there's no ranting going on, more just fanboying about how much I love Captain Levi, and he's the most awesome person ever, and honestly, he's incredible, and Eren Yeager is absolutely fantastic, and honestly, he deserves more appreciation. Oh my god, I love this show so fucking much! Have you got the point? If you realise I like Attack on Titan yet? And if you don't like Attack on Titan, I respect your opinion, but, can I say you're wrong? Yeah, I can, you're wrong. I've seen a lot of people complaining about Attack on Titan. I was going to talk about Commander Irvin next, but I'm going to start defending my baby now. One of my babies. It's not even mine. I don't own it. I'm going to start defending some other random guy's baby, but I also defend my baby. Finn is my life. I love him, and I hope he doesn't wake up and start crying again. He doesn't like sleeping on his own yet, but we haven't had him long, so that's why he's perfectly trained in every other way. This isn't relevant to Attack on Titan, by the way. But I'm telling you anyway, because you know what? This is an excuse for me to ramble and talk about things, and you know what? You might not care, but I don't care if you don't care. Okay, it's a bit harsh, but do be #facts, though. Thank you for your listen. I really appreciate it. You guys are great. Love you. That's not true. I don't like love. I tolerate you and appreciate your listens, even though if you don't like what I'm saying, that's your problem. I wish I was bipolar to explain this, but I'm just not normal. Anyway, yeah, Finn. He's great. He's so well trained. He's pissing and shitting outside already. He doesn't chew anything. He doesn't bark or cause any noise during the day. His only issue is he just doesn't like sleeping alone, because he's clearly very affectionate. He loves cuddles and he loves hugs. No, it's not even an attention thing. Like, I remember the breeder we got him from said that he always had to snuggle up, or when during the day with one of his siblings or his mum, he sort of loved a hug and would always be the one to come over and hug someone or something. And that's clearly evident with him, and we love that about him. We love all the snuggles, and we love sitting with him in his little cuddle. I've fallen asleep on the floor with him about 3 times now, as we just snuggle up together and he just falls asleep. But at night it causes problems because he doesn't like being on his own. So sometimes he just wakes up and cries. But he's getting used to it. He's a very good boy, and I love him very much. Maybe more than I love Attack on Titan. No, definitely more than I love Attack on Titan. He's brilliant. Attack on Titan is a show. Finn is my baby. Anyway, that's not the point. Attack on Titan. Yeah, if you don't like it, you're wrong. And yeah, no, you just naff off, because I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's not that great. It's overhyped," and I'm like, okay, so what you're doing is you've watched the first 2 seasons. You've seen what appears on surface level to be a basic, all good hit soldiers versus evil monsters, and all there's a few spies. But doesn't the fact that all there's a few spies and a few evil people that can turn into titans, and people that can turn into titans anyway, that makes you a bit suspicious there's more going on? Because clearly there's a whole lot more going on in this show. And by the time you get to season 3, everything just unravels. And the brilliance of the show is its cliffhangers. It just leaves you wanting more every time. And honestly, if you don't like the show, you don't appreciate good writing. It's the same sort of thing as when people didn't like Eren, but that was intentionally written that way, where you weren't supposed to like him at the beginning, so you didn't see the character that was actually developing until it was too late, and it's like, oh my god, he's fucking incredible. And now he's my favourite character in Attack on Titan, and definitely in my top 10 fictional characters of all time. And so is Levi. Honestly, if I didn't have such affection and nostalgia attached to Darth Vader, who is also one of the best written characters of all time. Okay, I'm going to outright say it. My top 3 favourite characters of all time currently are Darth Vader, Eren Yeager, Captain Levi. Right? I'm saying it. I love Kyber. If we're talking about who I love the most, Kyber might go up a bit. But in terms of well-written characters, Levi and... Oh, no, because... Yeah, they're up there. I don't know. Right? They're definitely top 4, top 3. Depends how I'm feeling on the day. But at the moment, I'm feeling they've probably usurped Seto Kaiba. Darth Vader, I've got too much affection for. And I love Darth Vader too much, I think, for him to ever be beaten. But know that it's very close right now. Between Eren and Darth Vader in particular. But in weird ways, I relate to them both a lot, and I think the nostalgia just puts Darth Vader then over the top, because I've loved him my whole life, and he was probably my hero growing up. I say probably as if he definitely wasn't, because he definitely was. Moving on. Yeah, and in a weird way, I think Attack on Titan was written in a weird way to weed out the basic people who wouldn't appreciate the plot early on as well. It gave... Don't get me wrong, the first 2 seasons are still incredible, the action is amazing, and there's a lot of stuff going on sort of beneath surface level that you do notice upon watching it again. But if you're just casually watching it and you're just seeing the surface level, oh, you know, good soldiers versus evil monsters, yada yada yada, oh, nothing's changing, yeah, you're not going to enjoy it. But I think in a way, just like Eren Yeager, it was written in a way that you didn't realise this stuff early on to weed out the people who weren't really going to be invested. So the only people that were invested were the people that were intrigued by what the real world was that they were building here, and the real message it was trying to send. I think the genius of the writing comes from the fact that, yeah, some people do hate it because they don't look into it enough, and they don't realise that there's a lot more going on that meets the eye here. And that's the subtle brilliance of this show. And, you know, it might not be that. You might watch it and it might not be your cup of tea. Yes, Levi, pun intended. Saffron, you can have that one on me. You might watch it and it might not be your thing. You might not enjoy it. You might not like the route it takes. It is incredibly violent. It is vulgar at times. It is very dark, very depressing, and very realistic. You know, some people might not like the very realistic take on war and the real implications that it's saying about war and who's right, who's wrong, and casualties, and, you know, all this sort of thing. That might be unsettling for you. And the Titans are very off-putting. I was very impressed Saffron actually got past how unsettling the Titans are, but I think she got that invested by the plot that how unsettling they were became less of a problem than it ever was before, and I appreciate that, because she now loves the show. But so no, genuinely, I do understand that there are many reasons why you don't like it, but for the people who say it's because the plot is boring, or, you know, it's very basic and just too shonen, you haven't watched it enough, and you haven't given it the real chance it deserves, because I have a strong feeling those first 2 seasons are written in such a way where it doesn't give that much away to weed the likes of those people out, so that the people, I'm not going to say who are cleverer, because that's not right, but the people who have started to piece things together, or just have an intrigued mind about the real nuance of the world that's being built, are the ones who stay to watch the incredible story unfold. Because season 1 and 2 are very much stepping stones of, yeah, it's great action, great story, but it's very base level what's going on. It's not the real story that's taking place there. It's setting you up for the real story, and that is the brilliance of it. And I think some people just don't appreciate that, or some people, as I say, it's not their cup of tea, and that's okay. I know lots of people that wouldn't like the series either because they don't like anime, or I don't know. I've lost my train of thought. Sorry, I just saw a notification pop up on my laptop and I've got to reply to someone. It's actually the person who I hope to have as a guest on the show very soon. Not about the show though, it's about something else. Sorry, completely sidetracked. I shouldn't have my laptop next to me while I'm recording, but I need it there for technical reasons that I'm not going to go into. But yeah, Attack on Titan is the most fantastically written story. Oh, I don't know why I paused between fantastic and Lee, because I normally do that in my grammar. Fucking idiot. Failure, lead failure through and through. You can't see me there, but I did handguns as I did that, which is just as pathetic because I'm sitting in my room on my own at the moment on my bed. I'm meant to be an adult. I'm really not, but yeah. And I've realised it's 35 minutes and I haven't even brought up Commander Irvin yet, who, by the way, in my opinion, gives better speeches than Steve Rogers. Oh, you don't like that opinion? Fucking suck on it, because you're wrong. No, you might not be wrong. It's all a matter of opinion, but yours is wrong. Because... no, this is another thing me and Saffron spoke about, because she's a big Captain America Steve Rogers fan. And the thing here is Captain America and Commander Irvin are both brilliant in the settings they are in. Captain America is good at inspiring hope and inspiring heroism in you. Commander Irvin is good at inspiring bravery and a willingness to sacrifice your life for humanity's cause, because they're in very different environments. Captain America is a very hopeful, we've got to be heroes, this, that and the other. Commander Irvin is in a fight for humanity's survival. He is doing all he can to stop the purge that the Titans are trying to bring about. So his soldiers, he's got to inspire to be willing to give their lives so that they can make progress forward outside of the walls. And that sort of writing appeals more to me. I'm not one of the more really... I don't like very overly optimistic characters. In fact, Captain America is one of the very few overly optimistic characters I actually enjoy and like to see on screen. Whereas Commander Irvin, I think his final speech, his final charge, is one of the best written speeches in all of fiction, if not the best. And, from that bit, he's like, "They were not!" And I can't do it. I can't do justice to how well the voice actor does and how swelling the music is. But the bit is like, where he's talking about, that's the one way we can rebel against the cruelness of this world. No, when my soldiers are faced with the cruelties of this world, because my soldiers push forward, my soldiers scream out, my soldiers rage. And it's just so... I really butchered that, and I'm sorry, because the voice actor... This is one of the only scenes as well in anime where almost like 99% of the people agree that the English dub is better than the original sub, or the original Japanese version. And I mean, I've watched both versions of Attack on Titan because I can't get enough of it, and I like both. I think the dub's incredible. It's one of the best dubs out there, and the Japanese is also incredible. Obviously, season 4, I don't have a choice at the moment. But Commander Irvin's speech is definitely better in dub, right? And the other best Irvin... Well, there's loads of good Irvin moments, and this is where I'm going to ramble and hope I don't go over time too much. The bit where he does the first time says, "Your heart and soul to the cause," which is obviously Shinzo was Sasageo, where he's trying to save Eren from the Armored Titan, and he goes, "Advance!" and then gets his arm bitten off. And then everyone's like stops charging on their horses because they realise Commander Irvin's just been bitten by a Titan being carried away. And he just screams, "I said advance, damn it!" and just tells them to keep going, even though he's just been compromised. And the comment section on that clip on YouTube are the best things ever, because it's like, sorry, I couldn't see what was happening in that scene because Commander Irvin's balls just covered the whole thing. And like, oh my god, I never realised Commander Irvin had such balls of steel. And it's all about how massive and how hard his balls are, because he just gets his arm bitten by a Titan, is being carried away, and still screams at his soldiers to push forward. By the way, he then cauterizes his arm. Right, I know it's implied one of the scouts goes back to help him because you see him flying in ODM gear. But he still has to then, with this other out, cauterize his own arm, escape that Titan, and then is still the one to make the blow that saves Eren from the armor Titan and cut him free. And then, from about 15 meters high, falls onto his horse and doesn't even flinch. That's how you know he's got balls of steel. He fell onto a horse and didn't flinch. Like, that would hurt, but no, Commander Irvin's got these massive temesticles, right? And he just fucking goes for it. And he's incredible. And one of the other scenes I really like with him is not one where he's... To be fair, he does give a classic bolstering Irvin line afterwards, but it's the bit where the scouts are about to start their operation to retake Walmaria, and no, yeah, it is. It goes Maria, Rose, Sheena. Sorry, completely wrong. Yeah, it is Walmaria. I'm a fucking idiot. So yeah, it restarts the thing to retake Walmaria, and the scouts are for the first time ever being given such a, like, people are cheering for them, saying good luck. You know, the scouts had never been believed in before, but they've sort of proved that they are heroes. They're not just some stupid idiots who go outside the walls and come back and die every time. They've proved they're heroes. So people at this point are cheering them on. And Irvin, someone goes, oh, you know, have we ever had a send-off like this? And Irvin's like, as far as I know, this is the first. And they all start cheering. So Irvin starts cheering back, and he has this smile on his face. It's almost like childish joy as he realizes people believe in them again. And he's like, ah! And the people down the walls cheer back, and he does it again, like, ah! And then he gives his classic, he pulls out his sword, and he's like, the operation to retake Walmaria begins now! And then, oh, it's so cool, and then all the scouts cheer, like, ah! And, oh, it's such a motivating moment, and like the last moment of bliss and uplifting motivation before the really dark Battle of Shiganshina arc, where a lot goes wrong, and sadly, spoilers, Commander Irvin dies in that arc. But yeah, I'd fully recommend watching his final charge. If you've got no intention of watching the series, but you want to know what I'm talking about, I fully recommend you go out and watch his final charge speech, his advance bit, and his bit where it's the operation to retake Walmaria begins now. I'd also recommend watching Levi versus the Beast Titan. That is after Irvin dies. Basically, Irvin sacrifices himself and quite a large number of the scout regiment to give Levi one chance to take down the beast by distracting him. So Irvin's just died and killed and basically got himself killed, and Levi is pissed, and he lets the beast know. So I fully recommend all those clips, but really I fully recommend the series, because once again, Attack on Titan, you have not failed. Captain Levi, you have not failed in winning over Saffron's heart, soul, and mind. Commander Irvin, you have not failed in leading the scouts to a better future and being the best commander and speech giver ever. Honestly, I'd put you over Optimus Prime, who was previously my number one best motivational speech guy ever. Yeah, Attack on Titan is brilliant. Can't get enough of it. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. If you don't like Attack on Titan, you're wrong. You suck. And I'll speak to you next week, where it may or may not be Attack on Titan again. I really don't know. I love this show. Speak to you next week, guys.